Hi, this is the African American Atheist, and I want to continue our discussion yet again on homosexuality based on some additional feedback and questions and comments that I've received. And this question, obviously homosexuality is a popular topic, so it's expected, and it's a good thing to have this kind of dialogue. But this question deals more with evolution, natural selection, which is a good thing as well, to get that kind of dialogue going. But the question is framed as, I'm paraphrasing again, doesn't the whole concept of two people having sex, which cannot lead to reproduction, go against Charles Darwin's scientific theory of evolution by natural selection, and the fact that more offspring are produced than can possibly survive? My point to you is that homosexuality does not generate reproduction of our species, and therefore should have no place in society and scientific theory. All right, so these are the types of questions that I really like taking, because at least they try to keep the conversation within the realm of science, which is where it needs to be, not within the realm of religious nonsense. But I can feel that there's some religious nonsense under the surface, but at least they tried to frame it within the bounds of science, which is a conversation that can be had. So this is another question that comes up a lot, and you never really hear anyone tackle it. Better yet, an African American atheist tackle it. But with respect to the question of two people of the same sex having sex going against natural selection, in a nutshell, the answer is possibly yes. That no one wants to say that, but hear me out. The answer is it's possibly yes, that it does go against what people would consider the concept of natural selection and reproduction and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the whole story when it comes to biology and the progression of species and a species being fit for survival. So let me delve into that a little bit and what I mean, right? So natural selection has more to do with the entire species on the whole and whether or not it is fit to survive. I put that in quotation marks. How do I say this? I guess there's many factors that contribute to a species being fit for survival. And ironically and counterintuitively, being able to reproduce is only one of those factors that can contribute to a species being fit for survival. So I know people are like, where are you going with this? I'm unsubscribing right now, but let me explain. As a social species, meaning we live in groups and we thrive on cooperation, one could competently argue that it's just as important for the species to be fit for survival by having individuals that are kind, cooperative, unselfish, honest, etc. All of those attributes increase the species on the whole, increases their chances of survival, and are thus in alignment with natural selection. So the scientist, the atheist, or anyone using reason can view homosexuality under that lens, meaning that just because someone does not procreate, they still play a vital and majorly important role in ensuring the ultimate survival of the species, as long as their actions are in alignment with the needs of a social species. Meaning they're kind, they're honest, they're nurturing, they're providing, they're unselfish, etc., etc. All those virtues that religious people try to claim as their own, if all of those things and those actions are falling in line, then it's really a no-brainer and another case closed where it does help the species meet the goal of being fit for survival, homosexual or not. It's a simple matter. So the same concept goes to a woman that chooses to not have children, or anyone for that matter that makes the conscious choice to not procreate, right? They still play a vital role in ensuring the success of the species through their interactions with others. We are a social species and part of an interconnected web. So ironically, this notion that we are a social species and thrive on cooperation and everyone should be more focused on aligning their behavior with being kind, honest, nurturing, providing, unselfish, etc., all those good things, that's what gives the atheist a true sense of morality. Now, that's a whole nother topic that I'm going to delve into, but I can just jump into that right now in a few sentences. That's what gives me my sense of morality, knowing that I'm honest, I'm nurturing, I'm providing, I'm unselfish. I have the greater good in mind, and I know that those actions ultimately will increase the species' chances of survival. Therefore, I'm a moral person. You don't need, the invisible man or the fear of an invisible creator or some book written by, people 2,000 years ago in the Middle Eastern desert to give you a sense of morality. So true morality is a global rule that applies to the species and only has the species' best interest in mind. Now, there could be some conflicts there, but that's another topic, right? But so, as an atheist, I only do things that I feel will ultimately benefit the long-term survival of the species. It's bigger than me, and I have no problem feeling from the jump that it's all bigger than me. That's another big difference between, an atheistic point of view and a religious point of view. I acknowledge up front that everything is much bigger than me. I don't identify that everything is much bigger than me, meaning that there's a creator. I'm saying we're all interconnected, and the entire trajectory of the species is my goal, but that is much bigger than me. It's not about just how I treat, my neighbor or how I treat my daughter. Ultimately, those are important, but the result of that is much bigger than me, right? And my immediate genetic lineage. So just because homosexuals don't procreate doesn't mean that it doesn't belong in scientific theory. That was kind of a weird phrase, but, to answer your question, doesn't mean that it doesn't belong in science. In fact, for this very reason, one could argue that it's paramount that it be taught and understood from a scientific perspective. Otherwise, it's only going to get demonized, mischaracterized, and misrepresented from a biological standpoint. I feel it's just as relevant as any other human attribute. We have emotions, we have humor, there's incidences of homosexuality. It just comes with the territory of being human. Why is that so hard to accept? So I honestly feel the world needs a re-education on these concepts, but this time without preconceived notions and misrepresentations. But I said before, that begs the question because the world never really got a first education on these kind of concepts. And it seems as if, this issue comes up in current events and social media a lot now. So you get all these peoples with opinions coming out the woodwork, but none of them have a science background or speak in the language of science. Every religious person that I know, they seem to instantly become some sort of scientific expert on biology and evolution the second that homosexuality is brought up in the media. But on an everyday level, these are the same people that denounce the scientific method and the processes of science. So, again, it's that dichotomy that is literally insane and should be called out as such. The issue of homosexuality is a science issue. At the end of the day, it's a science issue. It's not a religious issue. Therefore, it should be discussed in the language of science, not in the language of religion. When we want to talk about the rapture, that's when we can have, a serious, maybe entertaining, but at least a serious religious discussion and that kind of religious debate. But when we talk about things involving the human condition and whether things are a natural part of being human and whether or not they play a part into the long-term survival of the species, that's a science and biology question. So, it's all about staying in your lane, so to speak. So I didn't mean to turn this one into a rant of sorts, but like I said before, we're going to keep these types of videos and podcasts and conversations coming. So like, subscribe, share, buckle up. This is the African American Atheist, and I'll see you in the next video.